Stunt driving in Ontario. How do I get my license back after the 7-day suspension? When clients get stunt driving tickets or charges in Ontario, they're frustrated and confused as to how their car could be impounded and their license suspended without even going to court or having a trial. The answer is that the law for stunt driving in Ontario, Section 172, subsection 1 of the Highway Traffic Act, empowers the police to automatically impound and suspend your license at the roadside. There's no trial, there's no court, there's just the police officer and yourself. Bottom line, this is the way in which the law was written, and these are the powers given to the officers at the road to implement these penalties prescribed by the law. So what happens now? Well, your car will be towed and your license will be suspended immediately, and you'll be left having to make your own way back to your destination by other means. You also now have a mandatory 7-day period where your license is suspended and you cannot drive for any reason during this administrative suspension. During this period, this is where our firm gets the most client calls because clients are frustrated and they're often panicked on how to get their license back after the 7 days and how to get their car out of the impound. So the question is, what do I do first? Well, the first step is just to wait. There is no sense in trying to do anything until your suspension is nearing the end of the 24-hour periods prior to the 7 days. If you want to verify the status of your license, you can do it at the Ontario government site that you can find in the description of this video or blog. And this page is a free Ontario tool to check the status of your driver's license. If you have any confusion about your suspension, you can verify it here. So where do I go to get my license reinstated after the 7 days? Well, there are numerous ways to get your license back. With COVID, it's a little bit difficult to get the physical access to Service Ontario locations, so this leaves you with two real choices. One, you can call Service Ontario. They are familiar with this process and will guide you through the steps to get your license back. You may have long wait times on the phone, but this is the most trusted way to get your license back. Or two, you can actually apply online to get your license back. This way, you can pay the reinstatement fee and you can get a temporary license until your new license is actually mailed to you. And you can also do this by clicking the link below. So, is there any good news? Well, not at this point, but however, we rarely ever hear from clients that had difficulty getting their license back and getting the car out of impound. So this process is pretty straightforward. This is a standard procedure and the flow generally tends to work. If you follow the steps above, you should not have an issue driving again after the 7 days. So what are my next steps? Well, after you get your license back, well, the 7-day impound and suspension was just the beginning of this process. Now you have to deal with your charges in court. A stunt driving conviction can have serious penalties, such as up to 2 years suspension, up to $10,000 in fines, up to 6 months in jail, etc. And these are the penalties that will impair your ability to work and to drive. These are the penalties that will have a serious impact on your civil liberties, and these are the penalties you need to be focused on. So these penalties should be enough reason just to get legal advice and a strategy that will help keep you driving in Ontario.